From the Connections Studio Suites, it's Connections. Connections is relationship radio.
I can't work fast enough.
What are you trying to do?
I don't know. All of a sudden I'm watching something like Connection Show Derailed. It just went crazy. All you do is you mention the Flat Earth thing and everybody goes crazy. All of a sudden the Rothschilds are calling. Pornstar Pete is with us as always, and he believes, along with a lot of people apparently, that the Earth is flat. Yeah.
I think there's a very good chance of this being a possibility.
Skylar on Facebook Live Connection Show says basically he's into the flatter Earth. The one question that he can't answer is, if the Earth is flat, why isn't it daylight everywhere at once?
Because they control that, isn't that what they do? They, first of all, on the ends,
spins.
on the very sides, it's like a disc, so it kind of goes around like a, like
Yeah,
that.
but if the sun's
like a
here,
record.
Yeah.
it's big.
Well, yeah, but
And so it should
but they
cover
control
all.
that
It's flat.
too.
Why is it when I throw up a ball, it comes
eating
back down
balls.
exactly where I threw it, if I throw it straight up?
Gravity.
Okay.
But we have this, our Earth is spinning so quick that shouldn't that ball be, somewhere on the other side of the field by then? We're moving quick. Or how about this? You get an airplane, right? That airplane's flying. Does it have to slowly curve down as it goes? It doesn't.
No, it
goes
Otherwise,
straight.
it would just shoot up and into space.
So, a while ago, not that long ago, actually, but B.O.B., he's a rapper, and he told all of his Twitter followers, millions of them, that despite everything that you've been led to believe in your entire lives, the Earth is flat.
Everything you know is wrong.
Blah.
The weirdest part is, it's not just that he believes the Earth is flat, but he's not by himself on this.
No, there's a whole slew of us.
It's a
out there.
Flat Earth Society, an entire society, 200 members strong, and that's not a joke. They did an interview with Live Science, and the vice president of the group explained as this: the question of belief and sincerity is one that comes up a lot. If I had to guess, I would probably say that at least some of our members see the Flat Earth Society and Flat Earth theory as a kind of epistemological exercise. There are probably some who thought the certificate would be kind of funny to have on their wall. That being said, I know many members personally, and I am fully convinced of their belief. He goes on to say, my own convictions are a result of philosophical introspection and a considerable body of data that I have personally observed and which I am still compiling. Wow.
Yes.
You go, sir. So there are also many, many YouTube videos out there that were ready to open my eyes to the truth today as I poked around knowing that you were bringing this subject up, Pornstar Pete. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God!
There's a lot of clip art and incorrect arithmetic in these things that I watched until my eyes are blurry today. So basically what they said, like Punchline was saying, is the Earth is a flat disk protected by an invisible barrier, which they call the firmament.
Was the mission worth the cost? Yes, I think definitely so.
It's a dome-like feature that also happens to be referenced in the Old Testament. So you know it's
yes.
real. You know it's real. You mentioned Copernicus. Of course, he
Liar.
messed everything up, introducing his theory of heliocentrism.
Heliocentrism.
I know, it's stupid, dude.
Oh, my God.
Flat Earthers acknowledged that while Copernicus's math was right, he lacked the technology necessary to definitively prove his theory. Still, the idea took hold, government started preaching it, and a centuries-long lie was born. This is Flat Earth theory, by the way, okay?
Yeah, and there's a reason why they lie.
To keep the man down for the Rothschilds, right?
Okay, if the Earth is flat, what's beneath us then? Is it
Pandemonium.
like like whenever you buy like pizza, the frozen pizza, and it has that cardboard underneath it? Is that
Something like, yeah. Take it out before
Is
eating.
that-
Or is that the pizza?
It's-
I'm never sure.
What I do know is it's at least 8 miles down.
And high.
down?
Like you can go
That's
down
it?
at least 8 miles. Well, maybe
Well,
longer,
no.
but I know at least 8 miles.
I don't agree with that because they've had whenever they've gone into the ocean, they've gone lots further than 8 miles.
Well, 7 miles is the deepest it gets in the Mariana Trench.
I was gonna say that's pretty much the deepest there.
I thought it was 21.
Well, I don't want to bore you with this, but you can get further.
Okay.
But then the flat earthers theory goes on, and this is still the vice president of the group. He says, as soon as Russia and the United States managed to get rockets in the sky, they realized their error. The lie, right? And so they quickly set about protecting the shameful secret at all costs. The Antarctic Treaty went into place in 1961, making it off limits to any wandering eyes.
Yeah, you don't find this mysterious?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And it's worth noting also that there's something called the ice wall, which is the towering, expansive, maybe absolute zero, pitch black ice barriers at the edge of Antarctica that may or may not go on forever and that no human could ever possibly explore.
Yeah, there's a reason why they stopped letting us, they basically banished the world from going to
it was a lie.
The edge of the world.
It was a lie. And so in order for the government and Russia to keep their incredible secret, NASA had to begin faking all sorts of photos and video evidence.
The moon landing.
Space launches, yes, the moon landing, shuttle journeys, you name it. There are physicists and astronauts who have been sworn to secrecy.
There is no moon.
The villains, of course, in this tale are NASA and the U.S. government as a whole. NASA has been going to incredible lengths to fool the world.
I'm waiting for Pete to get mad over there.
It's going to happen.
I keep looking over at him.
Am I presenting this in a facetious tone? I'm sorry.
I think so.
Would you like me to be more incredulous?
We're used to this. Us flat earthers are
I got
used
you.
to,
I got you.
being.
Okay, like flat
But look,
earthers.
I understand that NASA probably did go to incredible lengths to fool the world about not only the moon landing, which is an obvious fake, but also about everything we know about our very planet itself.
See, Tsar Nicholas, he found out the truth. He was going to tell everybody about it.
And they killed him.
The communists killed him.
Yep. GPS readings are faked. Photos and videos from space, fake. Lunar eclipse, an invisible anti-moon that occasionally obscures our also flat moon.
Of course, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But why would NASA do so much work to keep the truth hidden from the masses? Money, right? Money, of course.
There was also that thing
Russians.
called the space war. The
space war. Well, that was just a bunch of money, right? It's all good. We get you. Okay, here's the thing. We started talking about this flat Earth thing, and I posited how there could possibly be flat Earth. I explained the theory of the vice president of one of the Flat Earth Society, members, and his theories and how it all works. So I am now looking at frequently asked questions on the Flat Earth Society website. Yes, there is a Flat Earth Society website.
Of course, yes.
General question is this site a joke?
and they're actively promoting Flat Earth movement worldwide.
Okay.
They are admittedly several non-serious Flat Earth posters and stuff like that, but they are fairly easy to identify.
I see. Well, what evidence would you say, Pornstar Pete, is there that would prove there's a flat Earth?
Well, it's actually derived from many different facets.
Of course it is.
Of science and philosophy.
Philosophy. Oh.
The simplest is by relying on one's own senses to discern the true nature of the world around us. The world looks flat. The bottom of the clouds are flat.
No, they are not.
They are?
Yes, they are.
No, they are not.
Yeah, you don't see them bubbling from the bottom there. They're
Yeah,
flat.
you do.
That's how rain falls out. Where
No,
are
you
you?
see them bubbling from the side, but not the
No,
bottom.
underneath, yeah. It's
All
like
this bubbling
chunky.
has me thinking of grilled cheese.
The world looks
I'm hungry.
flat. The bottom of clouds are flat.
Flip it.
No, let me
The
ask.
movement,
It's ready to flip.
the movement of the sun.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're so serious, and yet I'm making fun.
This is what and again, this
We're
is why
used to it.
All right.
This is why it's not taken seriously. But we're trying to, like everything else, we try to bring awareness
Look,
to things.
Pete, the theory that money was thrown at NASA to cover up this with Photoshop and fake GPS, I mean, just come on.
This is Connections.
And now for the entertainment.
You may experience a slight tingling as we conduct the experiment. It'll feel something like this.
Get up, get up, get up! Get up! Connect with Connections!
Broadcasting live from the foxhole.
Get up, get up, get up! Get up! Connect with Connections! Look us up and connect with us, 'cause we got the stuff to bust your gut. Connections.com, don't miss the bus. What's on Facebook? Get up with us! No! Get up! Connect with Connections!
Now I don't know anything. I'm serious.
I'm so confused.
I am. My God. You know, I've got to apologize to the listeners. I know you come to us for the facts.
You come to us.
You
for
come
facts.
to us to beat it around and to get to the point and really find the truth out of it. And at this point, I don't know anything.
We're just spinning around on a disc.
No, we're
it's
not.
It's like a merry-go-round.
Can't be right.
We're on a giant copy of Meet the Beatles.
No, we're not on a
So
Meet
how
the
do you know if you get to the edge?
I told you there's people that block the edge.
But you should then be able to see the block.
It's too cold.
And there's fog.
It's impassable.
Oh, yeah. They say it's way out there in the Antarctic. Nobody can get there, and it's really, really deep.
And there's
fog.
like a
I ain't buying
cold and fog and a dragon, maybe.
Maybe a dragon. There
So
be
many
dragons.
people-
Here there be dragons.
Yeah,
So many people came up missing trying to get to the end.
I'm still not buying it. How do you explain day and night cycles and seasons? As Skylar was saying, as Lizzie said, if
Oh, that's real simple.
well, how come the sun's not out all the time?
Because, see...
Except in the poles.
When you think of a flat disc, right, and keep in mind, what's furthest around this disc that's where the ice is. That's where you get the daylight a lot of the time. So what happens is this thing will spin, and when it gets far from you, because we're flat, you don't see that light.
Okay, I'm sitting here looking at the animation
Yeah,
that
it's
they
ridiculous.
have. Then how? Okay, by looking at this animation, it's explaining what you're saying. However, isn't there like a couple months in Alaska where it's dark all the
months.
time? But on this, it's light every 12 hours.
Have you been to Alaska?
Yes, I have.
Have you been there during that time?
My friends have. I have friends that live
But
out there.
but my Jennifer that called in for the autism and Jeremy was stationed up there for the last year. So yeah.
Wow, there's like 4 girls that live there. Congratulations.
When I was on an aircraft many times, I flew from a very small island to the mainland. Okay, the mainland, right? Boston or New Bedford or Hyannis or whatever. But the coast of Massachusetts from the island of Nantucket. When I was up there, not that high up at altitude either, you can see that there's a curvature of the Earth. Can you explain that to me, please?
You cannot see the curvature.
Oh, yes, I could.
I don't believe that you can. As a matter of fact, they've taken many pictures, even in airplanes. They have taken pictures. And there's places you can actually go, like in Australia, there's a place where you can go and look straight ahead for 150 miles, and you see no curve.
Okay, Carmen is asking on Facebook, why do rainbows have arches?
Why do
I don't know why I don't know why
birds
they
suddenly appear every time that you're near?
All right, fine. Then rainbow's good then. How about, we'll take it a step further then, say, how is weather created with your flat earth theory?
Well,
Government
first of all,
machines.
the rainbow is,
No.
you got the bend of the lights and stuff like that. But
A prism.
Right.
Oh.
So
The firmament.
when you bend light, it creates rainbows and things like
Sure.
that. Sometimes they come
So
straight out.
explain to
They're
me the
not
rain
just curved.
shadow. How I can look and see rain down the way, but not where I'm at, and yet you can see an arc in there. What's going on? How is the weather pattern? I mean, it's created by land itself. Oh.
Well, you got to consider that
It's
on
the
this
spinning of the
disc,
disc.
on this disc that is spinning, most of it's full of water.
Oh.
So when it's creating weather and the weather patterns, it spins around and it has certain places that will affect the wind and the weather more, and that's why we get the hurricanes and things we do.
It's not that the weather is moving towards or away. It's that we're moving towards or away the weather.
Mm-hmm.
But, again, I figured this. See, I saw a problem with Sir Isaac Newton right off the bat. Okay, because he said, when you drop something, it falls. That's true, but that's because the Earth isn't round. Because if it was spinning, if we were spinning,
it would roll away.
Right, you throw the ball up, and it's not going to come back down where you think it's going to come down.
But according to this animation, the world is spinning even flat. It's doing this.
It's doing like
but
a
it's taking us up a little bit.
So that's still, if you were to bounce your ball, then the ball would still go out.
No, because the gravity's pulling us straight up like a tube.
He said no.
Like I said,
right? I'm like, he's going, no.
No, that's not how it works.
No, I can explain.
Okay,
you
have listening.
You have you're at a bank teller, and you have this
can't afford
thing that you stick in there. That you stick in there. You put your money that you're depositing or withdrawing, stick it in there, and the vacuum shoots it up. When this thing shoots up, that's kind of like where we're at. We're in this vacuum. And we keep slowly going up. And that's what's keeping us down grounded.
The man's keeping us down.
That's the
honestly,
gravity.
The man's the one keeps us down.
That too.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Because the man knows about all this.
Uh-huh.
And you got to listen to what the man says.
Yeah. Don't you listen to what the man said. The Earth is flat. How? All
Big
right.
round man.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Liar.
No, his son is a rapper, and his son took on B.O.B. the rapper and said, "Look, dude, seriously, trust my dad. He's like a really big scientist type dude." So, porn star Pete thinks that he failed to prove that the Earth is round or is not flat.
Yeah, after all, he's mostly just an actor, really.
He is the most famous scientist of our time frame. I mean, Albert Einstein, of course, back in the early 20th century, explained to us and to the world, well, not necessarily right to us because, it was a time thing. We weren't there. But Einstein said, look, world, what we call gravity is actually the fabric of space-time bending around massive planets. And 100 years later, most people still do not understand what he was talking about. I am so confused. Now, famous scientist Neil deGrasse Tyson is trying to convince us the Earth isn't flat because there are a bunch of idiots out there. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
Hey.
Sorry.
Oh, come on.
I forgot. There's a rule. I didn't
Seriously?
mean to call names. It's my bad.
So rude.
Look, Kyrie Irving, he's a basketball star. He was at a podcast, and he said the Earth is flat. And then there's a bunch of middle schoolers that were so convinced that they believed their teacher was in on a conspiracy. Okay. Then you got the round-earth skeptic daredevil Mike Hughes, who reportedly has failed to launch himself in this homemade rocket.
Which we know he just recently succeeded in that.
And then you've got Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of the greatest explanatory scientists ever. He will explain stuff, man. He's an astrophysicist.
He's an actor physicist.
Astro. God, I love Carl Sagan's show. I don't know. I'm a globe head, and I'll always be. So, look, I find so far tonight it's been ridiculous to bother refuting or rebutting you flat Earth society of people. I feel like it's just not even worth trying. And I just want to let you know that there are reasons that I can throw right at you right now so that we know the Earth is unequivocally, absolutely, positively, 100% not flat.
This is the Connections Radio Network.
Thought about selling your home lately? Or want a home value report? Jameson Properties can help. Just contact Barry Jameson. His team has been servicing Central Florida for over 25 years. You can also search homes for sale at his website at barryjameson.com. That's BARRYJAMIESON.com. Jameson Properties has over a 97% success rate getting homes sold. Experienced, honest, and reliable. Give Barry a call. 407-876-2730. Or contact him at barryjameson.com. Call him now. You'll be glad you did.
Nunez Productions is a full-service audio and video recording and editing suite.
They offer voiceover, English to Spanish dubbing, transcriptions, translations, mixing, and mastering.
Does your business need new clients? Call Nunez Productions today and let them help you open the floodgates.
Offering services and products bilingually adds instant customers.
And that means instant cash.
Y por supuesto, se habla español. Visit NunezProductions.com today to get a free quote on your project.
That's NUNEZ Productions.com.
What are we waiting for? Let's get this party started.
East Connections.
Welcome to Crazy World.
Connect.
I would like to enjoy some historic factoids about humanity's quest for space, just for a sec.
Okay.
All right. First of all, let's talk about the moon. It is not a piece of cheese. It's not a playful god.
If you put a flashlight up to a flat piece of paper, you're going to see what appears to be the moon on your wall. Going to look the same.
Fine. Yeah. Okay, well, what about the planet's shadow? That's a great clue about the spherical shape of Earth. Aristotle made quite a lot of observations about the spherical nature of Earth. He noticed that during lunar eclipse, that's when the Earth's orbit places itself directly between the sun and the moon, creating a shadow in its process.
That's hilarious.
The shadow on the moon's surface is round.
The
shadow is the planet,
but
and
it's
a
flat
great
round.
clue. No.
But it's flat round. It's not like spherical. It's round.
And since the Earth is rotating, see the Foucault pendulum, if you will. It's an experiment for definite proof. That's if you're doubtful. Okay. But the consistent oval shadow that the Earth produces in each and every lunar eclipse proves that the Earth is not only round, but spherical, absolutely, utterly, beyond a shadow of a doubt, not flat.
Optical illusion.
They're giving you bad information. Again, that goes back to the Copernicus information that they were trying to share about shadows, so on.
Ships on the horizon!
Yes, you do not see the horizon.
If you've been in a port lately, or you stroll down a beach, or you stare off vacantly into the horizon, you might have noticed a very interesting phenomenon that approaching ships do not just appear like they should have if the world was flat, but rather they seem to emerge from the bottom of the sea. But you say, ships do not submerge and rise up again as they approach our view, right? Except for in Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, that would be saying you have to look, when the sun sets, you'd have to look down.
No, well, yes, but that's different. I'm talking about ships, not the underwater U-boat. Ships appear as if they are emerging from the waves because the world is not flat. It's round.
No, but the thing is that like when the sun sets into the water, you don't have to look down to see it. It's flat because there's no curve.
Jack said he was just yanking chains that day. He said that.
What did you make of the Kyrie stuff?
It's true.
What?
The Earth is flat.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Why are there stars that we see in our region but not over in other regions of the world?
Because we're in a spinning disk and it's like a mobile.
The farther you go from the equator, the further known constellations go toward the horizon, and they're replaced by different stars. This would not happen if the world was flat.
Well, it would be explained by the disk and the disk's movements and the mobile on top of the disk.
And
how about if you stick a stick in the sticky ground, it produces a shadow?
Of course, because when the sun moves around the circle...
In a circle, then why does the shadow go differently as time passes than a circle?
Because again, as a mole...
If the world was flat, and you put two sticks in two different locations, then they would produce the same shadow. But the world is not flat.
But the sun is moving around to the top of the disk.
I see, no.
Or actually, we're moving... and the suns are fixed.
Stand on a flat plateau. Remember you mentioned you could see 150 miles straight out in a certain place, and I think it was Australia, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll stand on a flat plateau. We'll look ahead toward the horizon. Strain your eyes, strain them, and then take out your favorite binoculars and stare through them as far as you can see with the help of binocular lenses, of course.
Which are curvature.
Next, climb up the closest tree. The higher the better. Just careful, don't drop those expensive binoculars and break the lenses.
Or fall out of the tree.
Drain your eyes, stare through the binoculars onto the horizon out there. Now, the higher you climb, the farther you see. Usually we tend to relate this to earthly obstacles, like the fact we have houses or trees obstructing our vision on the ground. But climbing upward, we have a clear view, but that's not the true reason. You see, even if you stood on a completely clear plateau with no obstacles between you and the horizon, you would see much farther from the greater height than you would on the ground. It's weird, but this phenomenon is caused by the curvature of the Earth. It would not happen if the Earth was flat.
Do you say phenomenon?
Phenomenon.
I think it's an optical illusion because the higher you go on anything, the more you're going to see of what's below.
That doesn't make sense.
When
now
you're
it's
at,
an optical illusion.
Well, when you're at your house, like let's say you climb a tree, you're going to see more than what you're seeing on the ground. Even if there's nothing there, you get up on that tree, you'll see more.
Yeah.
Phenomenon.
So, as we are talking about flat Earth, I'm not buying it. I'm still not buying it.
I'm buying it. I'm believing. I'm falling for it.
Come on, man. Over 60 years of space exploration, man.
No, it's all
We've
fake.
launched satellites,
Fake.
probes, people, animals into space. Some of them even made it back. Some of them are still floating through the solar system. And almost beyond it. And many transmit amazing images to our receivers on Earth. In all of these photos, the Earth is, wait for it,
Okay.
spherical. Yeah.
Spherical?
The curvature of the Earth is also visible in many photos snapped by astronauts aboard the International Space Station.
Photoshop.
You tell that to Scott Kelly.
They have a special Photoshop machine up there.
Yeah. In the firmament.
It's very weird how all the clouds, every picture they take of the Earth or the Earth moving, the clouds are the same. Or you can even see the double CGI cut and paste clouds there. Like we didn't notice that.
Cut and paste?
Yeah, where they even got like faces of dragons in the clouds and stuff, and you can see the exact picture in two spots.
Okay, now you were right.
Sim-Earth.
You were right when you said that Earth is different from other planets. Okay, that much is true. After all, we have life. We haven't found any other life on planets yet, have we? Not really. All right, however, there are certain characteristics all planets have, and it will be quite logical to assume that if all planets behave a certain way or certainly show characteristics, specifically if those planets in different places or were created under different circumstances, but they're not. So our planet should be about the same. In other words, if so many planets were created in different locations and under different circumstances showed the same properties, it's likely that our planet, Earth, shows the same.
That was a joke about the world being flat, right?
Was it?
So you guys hear that the I-4 eyesore is going to be done soon after 17 years?
I won't believe it till I see it.
Yeah. Show me.
Skylar says it's a Flat Earth Society main office.
Yes. No, come on, man. So you're telling me, first of all, that NASA made a hose. A hose. They hosed us.
You're a hoser.
Yeah, they've been hosing us, yes.
I ain't buying it.
You know, NASA hasn't even really made up their mind on what the Earth really looks like yet. I mean, we've seen pictures from 1975, and we've seen, all throughout the years. They always look a little, just a little different colors, I mean, come on. We don't change that much. We haven't changed that much since 1975, year after year after year.
We haven't?
The Earth, yeah. NASA has several alleged photos of the ball, Earth, which shows several exact duplicate cloud patterns. That's CGI effects, people.
Oh, come on.
The likelihood of having 2 or 3 clouds in the exact same shape in the same picture is as likely as finding 2 or 3 people with the same fingerprints. In fact, it is solid proof that the clouds were copied and pasted in a computer program.
Oh, come on.
And that these pictures that show a ball that shaped Earth, they're fake.
Don't give in to the Russians,
Tilla Tequila said, I will stop my hashtag Flat Earth Talk if someone can send me a photo of the horizon with a curvature. She was also seen making a Nazi salute, and she supported Trump, but it's okay.
This is the Connections Radio Network.
My man's ED is destroying our sex life.
I know just how you two must feel, but Bob and I went to stagesoflife.net, and Dr. Dave Klein has saved our marriage. Try Stud Mix.
By reducing the degradation of testosterone to estradiol and DHT, testosterone levels go up, estrogen levels go down, and things improve in your bedroom.
It takes a couple of weeks to get things going, but now my man is back better than ever.
Stud Mix is an intelligent approach to giving you that boost that most men need.
Go to stagesoflife.net and try Stud Mix now.
You don't believe in gravity?
I don't know. Lately, I get the feeling that I'm not so much being pulled down as I am being pushed.
But it's okay.
Do not underestimate the scientists in the NBA or porn.
Okay. Thank you.
It's really,
I don't.
As I went through this, it's really interesting to go through some of the ideologies these people have, and they even use church as a platform
For it being flat?
A fable
Yes.
of a fable? A
They
fable
have
upon
all
fable?
sorts of things that they took out of the Bible that states that the sun circles us, that we're
Lord.
just I ain't gonna say it. It specifically
Just
said
say
we're
it.
flat and this thing's spinning around us, but they say the sun moves and it moves around Earth. We're the special ones that kind of sit there on
And
our
the
little
Earth is only
plate.
6,000 years
kids.
old. And man walked with dinosaurs.
So they use the flat earthers use this church stuff, this religious stuff to their advantage.
You know what's cool about this show?
Yeah.
That's how Devin got his name.
I'm Knight Rider.
Devin Knight.
That's right.
Invited Kit in the car, boy.
Michael.
I am the voice of Knight Industry 2000's microprocessor.
Oh.
I don't know. Nothing. I felt really bad for that guy when his mean daughter took a video of him eating a cheeseburger on the ground. That's wrong.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
That was pretty funny, though.
Oh, if
You know
my
what?
son did that to me, I'd be like, man, we're over.
Over the weekend, I watched The $6 Million Man, and let me tell you what, that was one of the worst. I've never seen such bad. What the hell are we watching?
Is it that noise when he jumps?
The whole, it was like they take a shot of something and then they show you it again to make sure you saw it, and then they would show it again just like the phone ringing or the door. I mean, it was just it was like, wow, there's nothing here. It's total, no plot. It's terrible. Wait, what do we got? $6 Million Man.
Two cameras are on.
Boom.
Do you know why he crashed? Because the Earth is flat.
Not according to these pictures. Boom, he lands. All right, so I'm just not buying it. All right, but I do believe that Superman could go and turn time backwards by spinning around.
Yeah, I've actually seen that
Yeah,
somewhere.
now that
Yeah,
I saw.
I saw that.
I can believe that.
I also can believe a man can fly.
And we haven't been to the moon yet.
Oh, come on.
Right, Lizzie?
you know what? I don't know.
Oh, you know the worst song ever in that first
playing-
Superman movie?
What?
This one right here. Yep. How did you know? Yeah.
From another star.
Yeah, this was that was.
Poor Marie McGovern. That probably ruined her career.
Yeah, I let that one block out.
Yeah.
Are you reading my mind?
Oh, no, I'm looking at your underwear.
Remember there was that whole thing where they're like flying through the sky and she has this sort of inner monologue
Yeah,
that's going
yes.
on.
You can see right through me. Yes, I do remember it was horrible.
And that's when she started to
Rest
go
in
crazy.
peace, Margot Critter. Yeah, all right. Booyah.
She's dead?
Yeah, she died 2 weeks ago.
Really? I had no idea.
You don't miss nothing, do you?
And then Margot Kidder
You don't
said,
know
I'll
about
be under
them-
the porch if anybody needs me.
I'll be in a box, in this appliance box in the backyard.
There must be a reason for you to be here.
Yes. I'm here to fight for truth and justice in the American way.
You're going to end up fighting every elected official in this country.
Time now for our Sexy Artist of the Week on Connections.
Dylan Matthews and the Flips, they are our featured artists of the week. Dylan Matthews started searching for band members back in 2011. He had a solo career. What now?
You know, my thing is like 10 to 15 seconds behind it. Just saw punchline standing up.
Doing his dance.
It's weird, wasn't it?
Yeah. So Dylan Matthews is looking for people, and he gets this guy who is already a part of the band. Really, he's instantly. And Dylan said, "You know what? I like you, Gary Bulldog Bailey. So you're going to play bass with me for some more." So Dylan wanted someone to keep that groove alive. Then Brian Kinsey and Dylan, they grew up together as kids, apparently not as adults, and they were always in bands together throughout the 80s and 90s. And Dylan needed a singer who had his own style and was able to add emotion to his music. So Dylan met Bernie Lindsay then in the early 80s, before most of you were born. And Dylan needed a drummer who had his own style and a professional attitude. So when you put all that together, the thunder of the groove bass licks, a professional solid drummer, a master lyricist. I'm reading their words, by the way. It's one
okay.
With full of emotion, and a guitar player who's truly a guitar player that brings out a bluesy, emotional, soulful feeling in any string. Dylan Matthews and the Flips, original hard-hitting blues rock band. Check them out, Dylan Marshall and theflips.com. And
Kick-ass.
This is the song we are playing today. What happened here? I almost lost it. It is called Chicky Baby. Chicky Baby. Is that the one I got lined up right here? I hope so. We'll see. Let's see if it is. Yeah. Supposed to be Chicky Baby. How'd that happen?
Chicky Baby.
Oh, there it is.
Sexy.
Not bad.
Shake it, chicky baby.
They talking to you, Lizzie.
Chicky, chicky baby.
Chicky baby.
Chicky bow wow.
Chicky, chicky baby.
Yeah, chicky, chicky baby.
Chicky, chicky baby.
Dylan Matthews and the Flips.com. Yeah, they are featured artists of the week. That's 2 for 2. Well,
yeah, that was good
absolutely
stuff.
Yeah, baby.
I'm still trying to figure out who they sound like. They sound like themselves.
I
But
got
you
a
know
little
what
bit
I'm
of
saying?
ZZ Top in there.
There
a
you
little
go.
bit.
That's it. I
Aerosmith.
Not so much. I don't feel the Aerosmith.
Nope, I don't
I
feel it
think
either.
you're feeling the
ZZ
bass
Top
line
stuff,
ZZ
yeah.
Top-ish.
There you go.
The singer, not so much on the way that way. Maybe more of a Bad Company or Free kind of a feel. But
Yeah.
definitely back in the 70s, 80s mix there. But yeah, I'm
Very good.
thinking that bass line was definitely something I would hear, and like. Yep, definitely ZZ Top. Really, Flat Earther? Really? After all that, you're going to come out and go, I'm lying. I'm lying. The
I
Earth
was
is
trying to
flat.
fight the good fight, but
hard.
it's not a good fight.
That's what she
I was
said.
really trying to get in the mode of thinking like a flat earther.
You
to
couldn't
see
do it
if there
because
was-
it's warped, man.
It's just not realistic. It doesn't mathematically, scientifically, or logically work out.
He's going to crap himself if he didn't let him talk. What?
I wanted to be earnest about it, and pretend, but, lobotomy costs a lot of money and also is permanent, so I couldn't pull it off.
Yeah, Lizzie, say something. Help me out here.
Boston.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Point Star Pete.
Love to our sponsors.
Thanks, guys. We're out of here.
See ya.
We love you. Meet it.
Laughing time is over.
There you have it, boys. Case closed.
You've been listening to Connections. Find tonight's show and replays of our past shows on ConnectionsShow.com.